Welcome back, everyone. So this video is around Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. So to all you Naughty Dog fans, or even fans who were anticipating the upcoming game, well, I have bad news, as the game is possibly going to push into 2027, if not longer. So stick around as I'm going to break this down, look to see what insiders are saying, and why this matters, especially if you're looking to play this sooner than later. So back in December 2024, during the Video Game Awards, they did announce and show the trailer for Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Take it or leave it, which I'm going to touch base on here in a minute. But when you think about the talent that's involved, by default, it does appear that this should be a fairly successful project. Now, to sum it all up, it starts off kind of shows your ship, and of course, there's a Porsche advertisement mixed in there. But at the same time, you do get introduced to Jordan Munn, and she's played by Tati Gabrielle. And it does appear that she's a bounty hunter, takes place in sometime in the future, I don't know, 2,000 years, and she's a bounty hunter, at least from what I've gathered just by the trailer. Now, the soundtrack itself is backed by Nine Inch Nails, Alex Ross and Trent Reznor, and at the same time, you do have Neil Druckmann, who's known for the Uncharted series. He's known for Last of Us, which by the way, guys, I did beat Last of Us Part 1 on the PC. I just refuse to play Part 2 just because I do know what happens, and I'm not going to state anything for maybe there's one or two people who might not know what occurs. But if you think I should, throw it down in the comments, because if I get enough people telling me just play it, I will do that. Now, when you think about it, guys, when you look on screen here, the one thing that I did find interesting is, when the trailer did debut, now, of course, this is from 2024, so there's a good chance that these statistics, could have reversed, or the likes versus dislikes have either gone up or down. So I do want to point that out. But when the trailer got released, within a day or a couple days, you can see on the PlayStation channel itself, it has almost 1 million views, a total of 51,000 likes, and 86,000 dislikes. Meanwhile, out on the Naughty Dog channel, the trailer for the Intergalactic trailer, 758,000 views, with 40,000 likes and 72,000 dislikes. Naughty Dog also disabled comments for the video. Now, what I can tell you is, like I said, as far as the backing and the talent, Tati Gabrielle, and Neil, and Nine Inch Nails, it is interesting. A lot of people dislike the video. What I can tell you, in my own personal opinion, I don't think the video showed enough. And I think that's why a lot of people downvoted it. I am an advocate that I love, cinematics, but I need to see gameplay. And I think that's the one thing that they failed to show, was true gameplay. And, what is the game actually about? At the same time, I know there was some, conversations around the character itself, whether it's, good looking or bad looking. Again, I'm not going to talk to that, because that's not what this video is about. The video is really about, the timeline, and now that we don't even have a launch date as of yet. So with that, guys, up next, I do want to talk to the timeline and, what is going on behind the scenes. So the game began development in 2020. It ran all the way up until 2024. December, in fact, during the Video Game Awards, they did the announcement trailer. And now we're sitting, 2025. Everything is still TBD. It's now going to push all the way out until 2027, which we're going to break that down here in the next section to understand, what, the rumors and the insiders, and why everybody is saying what they're saying. But you really need to think about it. Think about Cyberpunk. I think it was nearing 5 years. It might have been 4 years. I think 2016, and then I think towards the end of, what was it? The end of maybe 2020, like December. I think it came out. They came out a lot of issues. Now, to be fair, I think they've done a lot of work, and I think they've really made the game what it should have been upon release. So anytime you hear about a game that's taking longer than usual development times, it does tend to, rub you the wrong way because you begin to question, what's going on. Are they redoing all the code? Maybe the graphics aren't up to par. Maybe, the game is just broken in certain areas. So now they have to redo it all. Again, there's a lot of negatives. Now, at the same time, you can look at the pros and you can state, look, I don't want a broken game. So you know what? Take 10 years if it takes you to make the game, because I'm going to still be here and I'm going to play it. But I think that's only in your most highly anticipated games like Grand Theft Auto. In that case, take as long as you want. But I'll be honest, for Intergalactic, not really too excited for this game. And honestly, if it's going to take 2 years, it's just going to fade away. And I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I'm going to forget about it. So not sure about you guys, but let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, let's dig into, the rumors and what the insiders are really saying around this game. Now, the question is where did this all come from and what happened here? So let's go ahead and break it down. So it all started with a podcast between Dan Allen Gaming and Colin Moriarty from Last Stand Media. Now, I do want to point out to everybody, because Colin actually had to come out and clarify, because he even states during the video, this is his personal opinion. This was not based on facts. So I do want to reiterate that again, it was just his opinion. He said, based on localization, based on what he was seeing, people were being hired, that he truly thought, again, opinion, that a trailer could get released and then the game could come out in 2026. So with that, let's go ahead and watch the video here real quick, guys.
So I think we just have to see. I think we'll see. I believe we'll see it at the Game Awards.
This year?
And yeah, I think so.
Oh, don't get me hyped, man.
It's not true though.
Shit.
And,
really? And you reckon it'll come out next year or 27?
I think next year it'll be good to go. But maybe they will delay it. But yeah, I mean, based on the way they're hiring and also things I'm hearing about, people interacting with the game, but also they're hiring for like localization now and all that. It's like they're getting into the end. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So now, as you guys saw, he did stay personal, and he even stated my theory about halfway, right before he started out, when he got asked about when the game could come out. He even said, my theory is, so again, it was all opinionated, and I do want to point that out. Now, of course, the internet being the internet, decided to basically come out and start digging and reports, and people were just getting so excited that, oh my gosh, we're going to see the trailer, the game's coming out. And so that spawned the next series of events. So what I did is I pulled up X here. So basically Jeff Grubb from Giant Bomb simply stated it outright. He said it will not be shown at the Game Awards. So for anybody who's expecting that to occur, it's not going to. And you know what? I'll say if it does, I don't know what to say. But as of right now, it is stating you will not see a trailer during the Game Awards. So then to further kind of, bring this about was Jason Schreier. He is from Bloomberg, and he does have a known track record of basically being right in many things that he says. So he got asked the same thing, can we be assured that Intergalactic is not coming out in 2026? And as you can see, he says, can assure you that Intergalactic is not coming out in 2026. So, the other thing that as I was reading through a lot of this, guys, I was able to dig into, was it even stated that Troy Baker, and if you don't know who that is, he is an actor, but he does a lot of voice acting for games. He did do Joel, I think, from The Last of Us. He also did Uncharted, and I know he's known for multiple other things, but he even came out and stated that they're still doing kind of these table talks and multiple other things, which basically what that means is they're still going through development. They're still recording and different things like that. So when you kind of tie all of that together, it is coming up that they're stating probably a 2027 release, if not further out. And so to sum all this up, the game is not going to be shown at the Video Game Awards. The plan is supposedly it's not going to come out until 2027. And that's basically backed by a lot of the notes that Troy Baker stated as far as, these additional discussions that are, that are currently happening along with additional recordings. So one last thing I do want to talk to everybody, and let's think about the AAA game development. Why does it take so long? 3 to 5 years, maybe even longer. And I think it really comes down to three core things. I mean, of course, the talent of your team has a big difference. I think at the same time, when you think about a AAA publisher, we want games that are more complex. We want to see branching narratives. We want to see more advanced gameplay. You can also, kind of break it down into your motion capture technology, your voice acting technology. I think all of that plays into it also, especially because a lot of these publishers, they want to take games and turn them into like full production Hollywood movies at that point. And then obviously the scale of the game. My understanding, again, I never played through Last of Us Part 2, but my understanding is Intergalactic, when compared to that game, I guess it's nearly twice as big. So when you take all the three of these and factor them in, publishers aren't willing to take risks anymore. I mean, that is a huge budget it's going to cost to kind of morph into all these things. And so, yeah, if that game comes out and it fails, you probably got billions on the line that you could lose. Um, and at the same time, guys, I don't get excited for games that are, 3 to 5 years out. So I would recommend to everybody else, you know what? If you have a whole backlog of games or you have other games that you're waiting to play, don't wait. Just dig into them, play away, because in the end, who knows when this game's going to come out? And you can say that about many games. So take advantage of it. Play some other games, and when we get more news or response back from the devs about a actual date, then we can get excited. So some final thoughts when I think about Intergalactic. You're not going to see a trailer next week at the Video Game Awards. It's not going to come out in 2026. They're betting on maybe around 2027. I'm going to go on the record and state 2028, whether I'm right or wrong on that. But at the same time, guys, I don't sweat over the fact that, a game could take another 2 to 3 years. I have such a backlog of games that I'll just play something else. And maybe when I hear some news, then I'll revisit when that occurs. The other thing, and if you really want to think about this a different way, think about the price you pay for a game. Right now it's $70. They're looking to possibly charge 80, which I think is ridiculous in my point of view. So if I buy a game at $70 and it's broken, man, nothing's going to irritate me more, because look, $70 is a lot, and I don't want a garbled mess, when I buy the game. So if it takes a couple more years to iron all that stuff out, so be it. And I would highly encourage it. Um, so with that, guys, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And ring the, click the bell as so anytime I go live or release a new video. And at the same time, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, because I can't appeal to everybody. But one thing I can say is I definitely enjoy all of the support that I've been getting. And with that, hit F5, reset and reload. I'm F5 Dad, and I will see you on the next video.